It was supposed to be the wedding of her dreams, but just as she stood there waiting for her groom to appear, her best friend delivered devastating news.
He's not coming.
That left her frozen in shock. She couldn't believe it. The man she loved with all her heart had abandoned her at the altar. What she never could have imagined was that years later, Mike, the same guy who left her standing there, would become a household name through sheer determination. He'd transformed into a celebrity that had countless women going crazy over him. But despite all his success, that unfinished wedding remained an open wound Mike couldn't heal. So when he woke up one morning in some admirer's bed and saw his beat-up old phone being stepped on by the woman, panic flashed across his face. Without a second thought, Mike bolted out of there, racing through the streets as hordes of fans chased after him. He didn't care about any of them, he just needed to get to that phone repair shop.
I'll give anyone $10,000 if they can fix my phone. 10,000.
Everyone in the store was stunned when Mike burst through the doors. The manager practically jumped at the chance to offer him a brand new, top-of-the-line phone for free. All he wanted was an autograph in return. But Mike turned him down flat. He just needed that old phone fixed. When the manager finally got it working again and a familiar voice came through the speaker, Mike's heart clenched with emotion. Through all the thorns and struggles of chasing his dreams, Josie's voice had been his lifeline, his anchor. What he didn't know was that fate was about to bring them together again. Back at his place, a news report caught his attention. His childhood best friend had died in an accident. Mike's expression turned grim as the need to talk to someone, to share his grief, became overwhelming. Against his agent's protests, he decided to return to his long-abandoned hometown for the funeral. But facing all those familiar faces proved harder than he thought. He found himself sitting far from the crowd, trying to stay invisible. That's when he saw her, the one person who still haunted his thoughts. He fought to keep his composure, but inside he was falling apart. When he noticed the little girl beside Josie who looked strikingly like him, a bitter taste filled his mouth. It felt like the person in that coffin wasn't just his friend, but also all the unspoken feelings he still carried for Josie. Josie seemed unaware of his turmoil. After the service, she walked straight up to him and without warning, slapped him hard. Mike immediately curled into himself while his father, who'd been watching, just shook his head and walked away. Clearly, Mike's decision to run away all those years ago had broken everyone's hearts. The next day, after an awkward greeting with his father, Mike noticed his mother's rose garden sitting neglected and overgrown. Overwhelmed with guilt, he made a decision that would change everything. He called his agent and ordered him to send his luxury car, then hopped on his old high school bicycle and rode into town. To his surprise, the cashier at the store was an old classmate. Mike nervously asked about Josie, but the person's face immediately hardened. With polite disgust, they practically threw him out of the store. No starstruck excitement, just cold rejection. The humiliation stung as he slunk away. That's when he spotted Josie, now a mother, walking into a flower shop. This chance encounter would finally unravel a secret that had been buried for 8 years.